Hey guys, this is not gonna be an amazing one of my videos, if I'm gonna be completely honest, because I'm gonna be talking about maybe one of the worst SMPs I think I've ever played on. It's called like Flamingo SMP or whatever. I just like recently quit it because God is it awful. I wish I still had the screenshots of like the proof I had of how bad the owners were. But like since I had to like reset my PC because it wasn't letting me record, I lost all of those screenshots and stuff, which is very, very unfortunate. I'm playing on a new SMP now because that one, I genuinely enjoy this one a lot more. And I will bring you guys content on this one rather than the other one because Flamingo SMP, I was going to do a video on becoming the strongest on the SMP, which I did end up doing. I racked up like around 1,000 kills on that server just by purely like grinding and like killing everybody who came across my site. But the community is so unbelievably toxic. You could genuinely do one thing wrong. Like you could take somebody's like sticks, for example, and you will get reported and you will get warned for it. And back when I first joined the server, which was probably like 3 months ago, I believe, there was this one helper. His name was Plain Shane underscore, and he was awful. He would TP to players to kill them. And this is how my reputation on that server got like completely destroyed. Because I would use Shane to TP me to like teams so I could rack up kills and stuff. Like, I'm not saying I was the best on this server either, but I'm saying that these owners were god awful. Okay, so there's a suggestions tab on the server, right? And people make suggestions, and not a single one of the suggestions in the suggestions tab have been implemented into the server. They said, and I quote, you need 20 upvotes for it to get implemented, and they had a person, they knew about a problem, and they got 20 like of the reactions that are just like a check mark or whatever, and they never changed it. It was some problem with like so the server has custom items, right? And the Dido leggings, like the certain custom items were you like I guess birdish theme because it went parrot and Christmas and then dinosaur and then duck. The dino pants were awful. Their ability was you could jump half a block higher if you held shift for 10 seconds, which is terrible, which is like it's $3 for those. You have to pay 3 IRL dollars for that. And then people on that server also just didn't know how to value things. Like, when I first started on Flamingo, the owners made the SMP the way that it was, and I was playing on it, and they scrapped it all and changed everything in a way nobody liked it, and their player count dropped to like 10. But then they started making these creepy ass TikToks targeted to like teenage girls to get teenage girls to come play on their like stupid Minecraft server, which is for like which is owned by like 20-year-olds, by the way. You are marketing your server to teenagers, and you're two adults, which is already in perspective a terrible look. And honestly, I could get past that if you just genuinely made your server good. But to say, because what they told me was when I was complaining, they said, oh, well, if you ever have a complaint, you can make a suggestion. But you ignore the suggestion, so no, I really can't. You can't tell me and say that I can make a suggestion even though I genuinely can't, because you'll just ignore them. And they'll probably, A, not even see this, or come out and be like, oh, this never happened. But it did. Not a single, maybe jobs? No, I don't think they even have jobs in that server anymore. I didn't know what a nice community was while I was playing on the Flamingo server, though. It was just till now that I joined the Forgotten SMP that I remembered, like, oh, this is what a community is supposed to be like. This is how people are genuinely supposed to treat others, because treating them poorly is just terrible. There was multiple towns that were started in ways to conclude other players from them, and the owners expected us to just kind of figure it out, because there was no way, like, the if you want to make a successful server and you want a server that you make to work out, actually play on it. Like, actually day to day, play on it and see what the issues are with the server. Wait, I'm still in character, actually. I think it was ridiculous that you are trying to claim to be like that you're trying to make your server better and you won't even play on it. You won't even bring yourself to play on your own server to see what the issues are. You just expect people to make tickets about it. And it was quite obvious and quite clear that Flamingo SMP was a side project for the two owners. It was something they were doing off to the side and they were not putting all of their time into. Which I think is stupid. Don't start a server if you're not gonna put all of your effort into it. Like, that's ridiculous. Why even start a server then? And like, most of the community on that server is just straight up Bedrock players. Which means, A, you're not talking to any of them. They rarely know how to use chat. And, like, oh my god. Anyway, I low-key forgot what I was rambling about. Oh yeah, the server being a side project. Do not start a server. It was quite clear that this server was like kind of just a cash grab for the both of them. Rambo, okay, there's two owners, obviously. I think I've said that already. There's Rambo and there's Eric. I don't want any hate going to Eric. I want absolutely, like, kind of recline any hate you bring to Rambo, because, like, again, nobody deserves hate. nobody deserves to be hated on because they made a couple mistakes, because people can change. And me joining this server realized that that's like a thing. People can definitely change and become better people. But Rambo did not do anything at all. I would look at my tickets, and the only tickets he would be in was a petty result of me arguing with him about something and him closing my helper ticket because he didn't like the way that I debated with him. And it like made him upset or something. And I'm like, dude, that's so ridiculous. And it's so petty to decline the helper ticket that I made when I was not being even considered in the first place as a helper. They were completely insolent and ignoring my ticket completely. Like, I messaged maybe twice or like 3 times in the ticket, like, hey, what? Because Rambo asked me to VC. I was like, oh yeah, sure. I didn't answer instantly because I was asleep. Like, God forbid I want to sleep. I was so miserable, like, playing on that server. Because everybody is so egotistical and just wants to be the best so bad. But they're all Bedrock players, so they can't even really do that much. So I have people like 4v1ing me in that server because they just want my title. Like, genuinely anything for a title. I always thought it was ridiculous. I fought for my title to become the strongest as like for a video. And I did complete it. I didn't want to record any of it when I realized how shitty the owners were. When to the second update that I saw and the fourth maybe update I saw come out were atrocious. Just genuine things nobody asked for. They don't ask people for crate ideas. They don't make polls. They don't do anything that involves the community. And they complain when they have a negative result. They were genuinely throwing their issues about being $4,000 in debt and blaming it on the player base when it was their fault for running a server in the first place. Don't run a server if you do not have the ability or the money to, unless you're running it on like a free server hosting. Otherwise, there's just no point. If you're gonna complain when it doesn't work out, maybe don't make weird TikToks inviting random like players. Like, let me see if I can. Oh my god. Let me see if I can show you one of the TikToks that they spend money on, by the way. They spend money on for people to make these TikToks. Or well, this one specific girl. Yeah, here it is. They pay this one girl. If you scroll down, by the way.
Here are 3 reasons flamingomc is about to be
God, this is so bad.
your favorite Minecraft.
Right, let me mute it. They're showing stuff that isn't in the server, by the way. These TikToks weren't here before, but if you scroll back enough. Oh, dude, wait, they deleted them. Now they got all these ones. Okay, it's just it's just them shitting on Mafia that doesn't exist on the server. That girl there had never played on the server before. So they kind of just threw her in the dark to make genuine content for a server she's genuinely never played on and probably is never gonna touch unless it's to record videos, which is ridiculous. You should hire a media person that actually, well, first of all, post it for free for clout, and two, will actually know what the server is like and give good talking points. Not this random girl that genuinely nobody knows and will probably just get genuine hate in the comments. They're using builds in like a custom server that does not exist. These, like, let me find a specific one. Like this one specifically, this base does not exist anywhere. This base also doesn't exist anywhere. They use like this e-girl shit, this e-girl slop to genuinely, they're just selling out basically. They just want to attract random people or like random like teenagers that to their server because they're just weird and they want to do genuinely anything just to put another dollar in their pocket, which I think is such a dumb reason to host a server. You shouldn't be hosting a server like, oh, this could become the next donut SMP and I can make millions off this. No, you want to host a server because you want people to have a collected space where they could just have fun and play Minecraft. Not this selfish shit where you just want people to frickin' buy your stupid keys to get items which are genuinely dog shit. I don't want to get angry. I don't want to blame this on them, but it is their fault and they want to complain about their downbringing even though it is just genuinely their fault. I don't know who you are to say to complain about your player base genuinely sucking and then not even playing on your server, only using this server to get money. And like, bro, it's so selfish. It's just greed at that point. And I fear that's the way with a lot of servers, even with like this, the plus rank on the server, you have to buy the plus rank like every month, which is crazy. Using a subscription to get benefits in Minecraft is insane to me. And that just shouldn't be a thing. You should be getting your money to fund your server a different way besides just using people to buy your stuff. Like, you should make it a grindable thing. And then use, like, your job to fund the server. Instead of, like, genuinely pocket picking people. Just for extra, like, not even, like, $30? Which is probably not even enough to keep the server up for, like, a day. I get that server hosting is expensive, but to go to this extent, to continuously just grab at people for money is genuinely ridiculous. I think Eric has, which is like the main server owner, has amazing ideas and he can do great things. If not everything he does is just a money grab. I just kind of wanted to rant about this because, like, I'm giving my opinion on why you should just genuinely avoid this server. I'll probably, like, name this video, like, why you should avoid this SMP. because it's just like even the money system is bad. They lowered the price of ender pearls because people were making enderman farms, but instead of listening to people who were asking for it to be raised, like the ender pearl price to be raised to 20, because I was constantly typing in chat like, because it kept like the ender pearl price kept swapping between 10 and 20, which was making me get money easier when it was at 20, but then it would take me forever to get money when it was on 10. They're genuinely making it so it's incredibly impossible to get rich on a server. Unless you buy the keys and sell the items, which is just, I'm pretty sure that's a monopoly. I also think you're not even allowed to sell, like, I think there's something against selling outside items inside servers or something like that. I think that's like against the EULA or something. Someone told me that. Which I'm pretty sure like every server breaks that. I don't think I've seen a single server who doesn't break that rule. But these guys do it especially. Like, you're making getting rich based off how many keys you buy off the server. Which is ridiculous. That's just not the point of hosting a server. Not everything has to be just another way for you to get money. If you genuinely want to like make a good server, if you do end up seeing this, Eric or Rambo, I doubt you want to make this a good server, Rambo, but I'm saying stop making everything about money. It does not help whatsoever. And it's just gonna slowly kill your player base. They have around average like 100-ish players, not even, probably like 80. And before they did all this stupid money stuff, like everything in their power to just get another dollar, they had like at least 130 players. And there would be like 50 players on at night. Now there's like 20 players on at night and like 100 in the day. Which is ridiculous. And they also make the people who like genuinely cheat the most helpers. I don't want to throw Mars under the bus for this, but I'm gonna have to prove a point. He would constantly AFK. Him and Mars would constantly AFK farms, and would constantly be AFK like not even 24/7. They were rarely on the server, but they were AFK grinding time. Or like grinding farms, which is high key bannable, but since the owners never are on, they never got banned for it because the moderators don't care that this person is AFKing. It's not that serious. But you're making Mars a helper even though he breaks like 20 more rules than I have. And then, okay, I'm gonna use backslash, I guess, as an example, even though I low-key hate the guy. He made a form to become a helper, and he said he would give 10 hours into the server. And he got declined because 10 hours a day was apparently not enough. Bro, Mars gives less hours into the server. He got helper. Dart barely has 6 hours on the server per day, and he got helper. Also, Comet Bug, it has become a junior mod, and they're never on the server. They are never on the server. You are hiring people who are royally fucking you over and doing genuinely nothing about it because you don't play on your own server, so you don't know. And you don't know what mods say behind the scenes to these kinds of players. You let these mods make fun of players and you defend them. And then you complain that you're $4,000 in debt and that your server update killed your server. Like, dude, wake up and realize what you're doing is wrong. You can't continuously pretend like you're not the problem. You are the source problem of why your server is failing. Like, this server has a terrible, terrible market system, but still averages 200 players a day. You guys have a good market system. I'll give you that kind of. The way you can usually buy everything you need off of shop is so convenient. But the way I can't make any money to afford the items in shop is beyond me. It is beyond me. I get it. You guys had like a couple pretty famous videos and it brought in a lot of players. Okay, well, not that famous, but they bring in new players. Like you guys said like 800 new players or something this month, which is a complete lie. It's been the same player count forever. Every time a new person joins the server, they instantly leave. That's not something to be proud of. I like, how are you gonna be so selfish and then be like, oh, I'm not doing anything wrong? You just are. And I think it's pathetic to pretend that you're not. Because that's not gonna get you anywhere. How are you expecting to succeed when you don't do anything to better off your server? There was this old server I used to play on a while ago, and it was on Minehut. It was called Rival Kids. And I think I said something bad to one of the media ranks on there, and I got immediately voice chat banned. And or not media, I think it was helper, which at the time I thought helper meant like, oh, they just help. They don't actually have any given power. But anyway, I got muted. But that was a highly corrupt server. If you were friends with the mods, you could say whatever you wanted around them in the voice chat on that server. And as long as you were chill with them, they would do genuinely nothing. That's essentially what you guys are doing. But when something is said against you guys, you will silence that person and get them in trouble to the point where they're banned. You silenced me by closing my media rank or not media, helper ticket. You told me that I would get banned if I spoke out about this. But now that I do not care about being banned on this server, I'm going to speak out about this. I'm going to tell people that your server sucks and people should not waste their time playing it because it is god awful. The community is atrocious. The people are constantly talking shit about you in VCs. But since you don't have any mods moderating it, you don't ever learn that people don't like you guys. People constantly talk bad about you guys. And I think it's silly as shit to pretend like you're the most perfect owners and then have so many people hate you behind your backs. Helpers and mods and managers will suck up to you because they know it'll get them a better position. Relying on your helpers as a like people of the public, I guess is the way to phrase it, as like their people like that will tell you the honest truth no matter what, they won't. They lie to you guys to butter you up and get better positions. Cause they're not just gonna tell you like, yeah, you guys suck. You guys are terrible owners. You are doing everything wrong with your server and people are speaking out against it. But again, it's just a Minecraft server. It's not that serious. I but the fact that you guys are such terrible people and then you ask people who are sucking up to you if you are terrible people and then getting the response you want and not asking the community as a whole what they want, not running polls, your server's just gonna fail. You're gonna lose more money. You're not gonna, like, the only reason you guys are up right now is because people will go out of their way to spend like hundreds of dollars on your stupid keys. Recently, you guys upgraded to like a better CPU or something. I don't know. I thought it was dumb. Because you made like a whole announcement about it, flexing your CPU on a bunch of teenagers. The CPU you got for some random server on a, like, when most of the people who play on your server can barely afford like a laptop, and you're flexing this like, oh, we got this cool new CPU, so no more input latency. Only if you have a god computer, but like no more input latency. That's so stupid. And nobody, I think they're NA. Nobody on that server is usually EU. Because why would you play on a EU or NA server if you're EU? That makes no sense. They're still gonna experience that lag because they're so far away from that server. And then also people who just have terrible PCs. And like obviously you can't really do anything about that, but you can definitely keep quiet about your stupid CPU upgrade because it's not that important. It's not going to change that for most, it's not going to change anything for most people unless they have some like crazy good computer and are near you. They're not going to get any lag. I think it's ridiculous to bloat about a new CPU and be like, hey guys, check this shit out. When you know what most of your player is people who are console playing on Bedrock trying to enjoy the server. Anyway, I'm probably gonna conclude this here. I mean, if you guys want, I'll make a second video about this. Cause I have so much more I could just rant about, but this is like getting up to like 30 minutes. Which I didn't even know I could rant about these guys for longer than 30 minutes. It's like, man, when I was about to start recording, I was like, I'm not even gonna be able to keep this up for like more than 50 minutes, aren't I? But I'm gonna upload this footage like completely raw. Because I want you guys to know and hear my thought process when I think about these people. Because I don't want you guys to like think I'm like hiding something, or I just want to be honest. I guess I did leave the flamingomc Discord server and I probably won't be coming back. They are garbage owners. They are Eric kind of does stuff, but they kind of just rely on their helpers, and if their helpers weren't there, they'd be absolute in the trash, dead. Like, it's just. But thanks for watching. I'll come back with a part 2 if you guys want it. I'll upload this like right as soon as I finish recording. Alright, bye.